Are you trying to plan the ultimate trip to Hawaii? Well, I'll share what bucket list activities and island flavors will make your visit truly magical and which ones you can pass on. I've got you covered with all the local spots, stunning hikes, and food you'll crave long after you leave the island of Oahu. First up, obviously a beach. Waikiki Beach is one that everybody goes to. And friends, if it is your first time, by all means check it out, but know that it is crowded. It is crowded, it is convenient, but there's also hard rocks, and so your feet might hurt. You might want to bring water shoes, but there are also some really good eats. I'll get to all the eats in a second, of course, because you know me, I love my eats, but it just might not be your top choice of beach. So go check out some of the other ones that I'm going to talk about. Instead, I would recommend Ala Moana Beach Park if you are looking for a great beach to have fun at and spend the day at. It's close by, but way less busy, so much more space, so much more activities that you can do. It's fantastic. And there's an Ala Moana Mall, huge mall, right across, so you can get a lot of fantastic eats, snacks, picnic items, or just go shopping and find some AC. For people from Japan, just a hot tip, if you have a JCB card, you can actually use the trolley for free, so you can get between Waikiki and the Ala Moana Mall and some other areas too for free. So don't forget to bring that card. It's also a great running or walking spot for all of you that like doing that either in the morning like I do or just like to exercise. Now, if you're willing to drive a little bit further, Lanikai or Kailua are beautiful. It is a completely different feel because the water is obviously still beautiful, but the sand is a lot smoother and it's way less crowded. Now, parking might be a little bit busy, but I like to park at the Kailua Beach Park and then walk over to wherever. Lanikai Beach is a little bit harder, so if you have specific questions, let me know in the comments, but absolutely a must visit. If you go to Waikiki Beach, you will notice that there's a lot of rougher spots for your feet, so I would also recommend water shoes for myself and for all of you that have feet that you don't want to hurt because there are lots of rocks. If you go to Lanikai, Kailua, you will notice the difference in the sand. It is smooth, it is beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous, and everybody should go. If you want to just walk the sand because it is so beautiful, just up and down the coast, Lanikai, Kailua is your spot. I'll also add that at Lanikai and Kailua, you can snorkel, and we saw tons of different fish just snorkeling in the waters that people swim in. Waikiki, you might be able to do that too, but I highly doubt you'll see very much, although we did actually see a turtle at the Ala Moana Beach Park. So in all these areas, you just may see something, but you may be a little more lucky if you're going to Kailua. Second thing I want to mention that you want to do are hikes. If you are willing to go on hikes and climb fairly steep places, I have amazing spots that are not that strenuous. Like even my kids can do this. So let's dive in. So I've got three very different kinds of hikes for you. The first one is Diamond Head. It is fantastic. It is not too strenuous. Most of it is paved, and so it is probably an easy hike for anyone. Parking isn't too bad. Kids can get a fun national park badge too. You can be like a junior park ranger. So my kids did that and really enjoyed the activities that went along with that. It does get a little steep at parts, so you just have to be careful of that part, but otherwise, totally everybody can do it. You can even bring a snack to hang out at the top for a little bit. It does get a little tight at the top, but highly recommend. Not too long, not too steep. Another one I recommend is the Manoa Falls hike. Now that one, if you are someone that gets eaten alive by mosquitoes like your friend right here, you need to take bug spray. You will have mosquito bites galore. Just keep walking, cover yourself, and remember, if you want to go into the falls, take swimwear. People go in. I went in. It was absolutely beautiful. You go under the waterfall. It's just like the pinnacle of hiking up this really steep hill. It does get a little slidey or rocky and slushy, especially if it's rained. So be careful if it has rained. But If you are okay with getting steep and getting bit, then it is a completely different world because it feels like you've gone into a rainforest. So you're going from beachy, touristy area to a different land. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, the other one I will mention that is popular and absolutely worth it, in my opinion, is the Lanikai Pillbox hike. And if you're going to Lanikai Beach, because I recommended it the first thing, right? One of the beaches, I combined it with hike first and then the beach because you work it and then you relax. So do it. But again, it gets very slick and dangerous if it has rained. So if it has rained, just be aware. You might want to change your plans because it's all pretty open, and even the beginning has pretty steep areas, and so there's a little string so that people can climb up. Just be aware, but if you get to the top, it is breathtaking. You see islands, you see the beach. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you can sit on the pillbox, look out. I loved it. I absolutely loved going. I'm so glad I did it. Here's a pro tip. There's a second pillbox right further up past the first one. You don't really need to go. The view is not very different. I know it's not that much further, so if you want to conquer both, by all means do it. But as far as pictures and different views, it's really not that different. If you're good with the first down, just feel free to hit the beach. If you're willing to rent a car or you have a car available to you, I'm going to highly recommend you take a nice scenic drive. There is a blowhole that you can go to, but maybe start at Hanauma Bay, and there is a fantastic Leonard's Bakery food truck without all the lines as there are at the Waikiki, close to Waikiki area location. So it is still piping hot, delicious Portuguese donuts, malasadas, on your road trip to Hanauma Bay. Maybe you picnic there and then you keep going for the beautiful coastal view to the blowhole and back if you're staying in the Waikiki area. Speaking of drives, if you're not staying at the North Shore, you just may want to go. And if you're going to the North Shore, I would definitely add in the Giovanni's food truck. Caveat here is that you can now get the Giovanni's garlic shrimp food at the H Mart in Kakako. And then it has AC, so you don't have to sit outside with all the bugs in the heat trying to fight for a table. However, the experience is, a very North Shore thing. And it took me back to the first time that I did it, when I did it this last time around. And there are now tons of different shops. So if you don't want the garlic shrimp, you can actually get something else, and that is totally fine. And if you're going to the North Shore, there's a turtle beach. So if you love turtles, or if you want to watch surfers too, because there are a ton of people surfing and there's turtles galore, stop by Turtle Beach. And then, of course, Hollywood Town. There is a Matsumoto shaved ice, and it is worth the hype. At least it was for me. It might depend on the flavors you get. I got the tropical, which had the mango, pineapple, and guava, and it was absolutely delicious, refreshing. The mochi balls were not what I was expecting. It was not flavored dango, which is what I would normally call it, the bigger mochi balls. So I would pass on that next time and maybe do condensed milk or something else, and maybe like red bean or different topping instead. But the flavors and the shaved ice quality, delicious. And we'll go more into things to eat too. Don't worry, we're getting there. I did try to stop at a beach swing on the drive up in the beginning as we were driving up, but we totally missed it because there was no parking and it just wasn't enough for our whole group to stop. But if you do get a chance to stop at that beach swing, it just may be a fantastic photo opportunity. Now, on the way back to the Waikiki area, a lot of people want to stop at the Dole Plantation. I personally think it's okay to skip, and the Dole Whip was just kind of for me. It just felt artificial in flavor, and I don't know what the whole hype with Dole Whip is. So if you all can tell me if it's way better at Disney or anywhere else, I would be willing to try it again. But if it's the same as at the Dole Plantation, I was definitely underwhelmed. And while the cute little pineapples and all the super cute merch was fun to look at, I don't know that it warrants a whole trip because there are delicious pineapples and fruits everywhere. So I don't really need to take a trip to the Dole Plantation, and I didn't even see pineapples for sale. Maybe it was the time that I went. That was one that I would be okay. And I promised you food, so let's get to it because there are some amazing foods in Oahu, and you might be thinking of the shaved ice, the acai bowls, all the island flavors, but there's also some really great Japanese food too, and that's why I love Oahu more than any of the other islands, even though it's a bit more touristy and more crowded, but the food is way better than any of the other islands, in my opinion. I know I've already shared a few of my favorites, but shaved ice. You have to have shaved ice when you are in Hawaii. It is hot. It is just the perfect time for it. Waiола is my favorite. There are a few different places in the Waikiki area. However, if you go to the North Shore, definitely check out Matsumoto's. As I said before, it is in Haleiwa Town where there's cute shops and you can shop around and have your shaved ice as a cooling down method. Acai bowls are another one, and I have a whole series and video on acai bowls, so go check that out if you haven't already. But our favorites are Island Vintage and Tropical Tribe. It just depends what you're in the mood for and how convenient you want it. The best fresh fruit and fruit sorbets are at this little tiny hole-in-the-wall place called Henry's Place in Waikiki. It might be hard to find. It's just down one of these alleys. It is pricey, but it is so good every single time. Whatever's there, so good. Cash only though, so make sure you have cash. I also highly recommend taking a trip to the Kaka'ako Farmers Market. It was rated #3 in the US farmers markets, and with good reason. There are a ton of things there. There's something for everyone. But here are the highlights that you have to try. The green juice from Oman. The green juice. It is so good. It is their only product, but there's always a line. And you can also bring back your bottles if you are a returner, if you are there for more than a week, because it's only on Saturdays. If you bring back your own bottle or mason jar, you get $2 off. Fantastic. I love great deals. It is so good. I'm trying to make it myself so that I could recreate it. Stay tuned. The Joja burger, also worth trying out. However, expect a line. And honestly, I'm not sure that it was worth the 40-minute line for me. You can walk around, and so you can come back after a certain period of time to check to make sure your number is being called. But usually there's a big line and it is good. I just don't know if it's that good to wait 40 minutes, at least for me. I know other people love it and will wait for it. That's just not me. The Surfer's Wife crackers. You might say, what is the big deal with these crackers? If you like seeds, tahini, those kinds of healthy crackers, you've got to try it. These are also pricey. And when my mom told me about it, I went, really? Can it really be worth it? But holy moly, it is like crack. I'm here all night, people. It's really good. You just got to try it. And they have samples too, so you could try it before you buy. And of course, the fruits, the veggies, the produce, it is a little pricier, but it is so fresh and delicious. There's so much to try and see. I think I have to keep trying new things every time to see if there's anything better and worth buying every time I go. And if you're in Kaka'ako, I'm totally sidetracking, but there is a ton of art that you should check out in the Kaka'ako area. It's beautiful, it's fun. Go find them all. As you can see, I've got tips galore. So if you want more of a specific topic, just comment and let me know what you want to see. I've got so much more to share about kid activities like the zoo or libraries or even golf courses or frugal fun. You just need to help me figure out what you want me to share. And if you haven't checked it out already, I have a whole Hawaii playlist already, so what you might want to see may already be there. So go check that out, and if you haven't seen it there, let me know. And I'll see you in the next video. Aloha!